going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the other day over on Twitter, I saw some information that actually low-key kind of shocked me. I know that leakers always got handled in a specific type of way, but man, the way that Activision goes about this business right here, especially with how they personally handle Call of Duty, is honestly, in my opinion, unacceptable. And of course, everybody's entitled to their own opinions. I'm not right, you're not right. So I would love to hear your opinions down in the comment section to see what we all, come to a conclusion on with this stuff. But at the end of the day, I gotta be honest, Activision can legitimately go screw themselves. But ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and dive deep into the topic of today's video, if you do enjoy what you hear today and want to hear some more content revolving around Call of Duty Battlefield or even X-Defined, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification button. And last but not least, we will be live streaming today over on Twitch around 12 to 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you guys want to check that out, I have a link to that channel down in the description of this video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, I saw this tweet over on Twitter from Modern Warzone, and he went ahead and said, Call of Duty leaker Rouse Valve has revealed that Activision legal representatives came to his home on 2 separate occasions to deliver a cease and desist notice. Frankly, I was intimidated and went off the radar. To go even further into this overall story here, and it's the actual tweet from Rouse Valve, and for anybody who doesn't know who Rouse Valve is, again, obviously from the topic of this whole overall video, he is a leaker. I forget, when did he actually come out and start leaking? Was it Modern Warfare 2019, or was it a little bit later with Vanguard or Cold War? I'm not exactly sure. I always lose track of when these guys start leaking it out, man. All I know is that he was a pretty darn good leaker back in the day when he was putting out a bunch of content about it. But as you can see from his own mouth here, he says, December 16th and December 18th, I received sequential knocks at my door from Activision and their legal representatives at MSK, formally presenting a cease and desist letter claiming IP infringement, mandating I refrain from leaking Call of Duty Inc. other respective Activision Blizzard games and DLC. I was not home to accept the letter, though by proxy, my spouse accepted the document on my behalf and clued me up that same afternoon. The following day, I was then scheduled for a 1-hour call with Activision and their legal partners addressing the documents and leaks over that year, affirming that nothing in those succeeding letters intended to or constituted a waiver or relinquishment of any rights and defenses. Frankly, I was intimidated and went off the radar. For those who don't know, Rouse Valve did indeed go completely off the radar. Now, of course, he came out and told everybody he was going away, and, obviously, it wasn't something that was just all of a sudden just vanished, poofed into thin air. But we never really knew the true reason. He told us that I guess he just wasn't comfortable with the scene. Leaks that he said didn't completely come true, some of them, obviously, because obviously behind the scenes, things get changed around. Something could be told to you, and then a month or two down the road, they might completely switch things around. So that was his main statement, too many things got switched around from his leaks. He didn't get enough that he wanted to write, so he's just going to call it quits and just, go on the low for a little while. When in reality, it was because Activision was threatening his frickin' livelihood out here, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I can understand if Rouse Valve was trying to steal the game, if he was trying to, make something like SM2, for example, taking all the assets from Call of Duty, making it into, their own game and then trying to sell it back to everybody. I can see something like that, and then they're getting angry at someone using their assets and reselling it to make money or make a profit. But these individuals are just trying to spark the hype that you refuse to do so yourselves. Call of Duty would be nothing with its hype if it wasn't for the leakers. Leakers pretty much get the ball moving every single year around. Every single time a new Call of Duty game comes out, it's the leakers who get everybody talking. It's the leakers who get everybody active, everybody excited, everybody ready for the next game. And it's funny because before, we thought the leakers were a part of the whole system. A lot of us were thinking that Activision is paying these individuals to come out every single year on Twitter and go ahead and give us all of this stuff, which a lot of us were starting to believe because, it seemed like it. Every year, around the same time, we get the same stuff, that we get leaks, we get information, we get all this stuff before, obviously, Call of Duty comes out officially and lets us know what the next Call of Duty game is going to be. But it happens every year. It's almost clockwork at this point, and it seems a little suspicious, doesn't it? But now we have confirmation that no, Activision does not have anybody planted over on Twitter unless this is all, in their plan, Maybe this was in their plan that they didn't want to get, accused of this, or they didn't want anybody to find out, so they did send a cease and desist just to, make sure things seem a little bit more legit. I don't know, but from my eyes, it seems that they are not planting anybody on Twitter. They're not planting anybody on the scene. And maybe they have, obviously, their paid shills who will hype up the game and stuff like that. But when it comes to leakers, these guys aren't paid. They're not being, they're just fans of the franchise, and they want to get the hype rolling. And in my opinion, of course, I always have to say, it's my opinion. You guys can share a different opinion, and as I always say, I encourage you all to go down in the comment section and we can share them down below and we can have a nice, good discussion. But I think that going to their house to actually physically drop off a cease and desist and talk to them and basically, basically threaten them, make them feel threatened in the situation so they fold quicker is ridiculous. They're intimidating these individuals when that shouldn't be the case. This could be simply resolved by either, as they usually do, taking down the information, removing it from the internet, as they always do, banning the account, whatever you want to do, man. Go about your business. You can even IP ban. They have all of this software, all of this, they're made out of so much money. But instead of just doing that, they have to go ahead and actually threaten them, make them feel, I guess they're not threatening them physically, but let's be honest here. If a bunch of lawyers showed up to your front door, you would feel intimidated. You would feel threatened in that situation. Of course, unless you know the law and you know what's going on and how to handle that stuff. But for your typical average person to have a bunch of, highly paid lawyers. This isn't a small team here, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't like these are a bunch of, $1 lawyers, your McChicken lawyers. No. These are lawyers working for a billion-dollar company here, okay? They're the real deal. Yes, that is what we call an intimidating strategy right there. They're trying to intimidate people to make sure they don't do it again. Forget the banning, forget taking their accounts off. They just want to make sure that people see that they mean business and nobody else will end up doing it. Look, Activision, you want to know how to get people to stop leaking games? Do a better job advertising them. And I'll be honest, your advertisement team is usually on point. The people who make the trailers are on point. They hyped us up pretty much every year for games that just turned out to be awful. But, at the end of the day, you need to do a better job at keeping us informed. Honestly, knowing more about the game gets me more hyped than being shocked about what's to come next. Because at this point, when it comes to Call of Duty, I don't think any of us are really shocked about what's coming next anymore. You know what I'm saying? So the best way to get us hype is to keep us along, keep us updated, let us know what's happening. Yeah, your casuals will be hyped up. The people who don't care about all this information, they'll be hyped up when, they go ahead and they see the trailer for the next game on TV. But for the rest of the crowd, the best way to do things is just to keep us posted on how the game is developing. Look at X-Defiant. There's barely anything that's being hidden. Maybe there's a side mode that's being hidden. I've seen some rumors about a zombies mode, which I actually made a video about that. If you guys want to check that out, I made a video about that about maybe a few days ago. You guys should check that out along with all my other X-Defiant videos. I have a whole playlist for that stuff. But X-Defiant has been doing a phenomenal job at keeping the hype there because they let us know what's happening with the game. Okay? When we don't know, when we're kept in the dark, when we're confused, that's when we leave and we go to different titles. That's when people get bored and they end up going elsewhere. Doesn't matter, okay? The leakers are what keeps the hype going, what's keeping the hype rolling, what's keeping Call of Duty partially relevant until the next title can even drop. If you did that job well, then there would be no need for leakers, which will mean there's no need for all of this nonsense to be going down here. Like, to me personally, this seems like an over-exaggeration. Seriously. Even just think about, the other people that are involved. He wasn't even there to accept the letter himself. His spouse had to accept the letter first and foremost, which means that someone who didn't know about any of this stuff probably, I don't even know if they probably followed the leaks. Again, a lot of this stuff, we're hardcore COD fans. There's not many people are probably going to relate with a lot of this stuff. He was probably doing his own thing, enjoying his vibes with the leaks, and now his spouse has to be dragged into the situation and basically probably scared to death. Could you imagine how fast their heart must have been pumping when they opened the door to see a bunch of those lawyers with a cease and desist order? They probably thought they were like a murderer or something. Someone trying to, it's insane. Like, I'm thinking right now, if they came to my doorstep and did the same thing to people who live with me, it wouldn't be good. They don't know what I'm, they understand, what I do, obviously, with content, but, that far, they probably thought I shot someone at that point. It's just unreasonable, completely unreasonable, and, in my opinion, unprofessional. Again, take that level of, law to people who are really threatening your business with money, but when it comes to simple little leaks, you can handle that online and leave it online. With a click of a button. It's extraordinarily simple. To have to pop up to these people's houses, man, that's some freaky stuff right there. But again, like I said, this is just my personal opinion. I would love for you guys to go down in the comment section and leave yours down below. Do you guys think that Activision is in the right here, or do you think they're going a little far? Again, I understand. It's their game, and things like this, That's fine. If they want to take it off the internet, they can take it off the internet. If they want to ban them and make sure they can't post again, they spread the leaks. They knew what they were doing. But pop it up to someone's house, I mean, ooh, with backup appointments, calls, the whole deal. I just think that's a little far. But again, like I said, leave your opinions down below. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like button. If you hated it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new, enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe, double notification button. Also, want to chat with me, there's two ways to do so, Twitter and Discord, both linked down in the description. And also, want to catch me live streams of video games over on Twitch, linked in the description as well. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.